Okay, we're ready to go. All right, I'd like to call this Tilton Northfield Fire District Budget Committee to order. Members present are myself, Dennis Manning, Eric Pirate, Jane Alden, Charlie Broughton, Paul Blaisdell, Scott Lewandowski, Kathy Tobine, and Chief Seatar are all present. I didn't miss anybody this time, did I?
The date and time.
The date and time. You always keep me square, Paul. The date is January 27th at 5:30 in the afternoon. Thank you, Paul. All right, I guess so.
Where we are.
What's that?
You have to say where we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we are at the Tilton Town Hall downstairs. Okay, meeting after meeting this weekend. So we've called the meeting to order. Number 2 on our agenda is public comment, members of the district, employees of the district. Seeing none, we should move to number 3 and review the minutes of December 16th, 2024, our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review them at all? Do we need to take a few minutes?
Possibly, because it's been a while.
Yeah. It is a recap of the warrants.
I'm just a little confused because it says up here budget committee member, and then it says attendance. Commissioner Tim Sattler.
What's that?
Yeah, because Paul Lozier was down south.
Yeah, he
Oh,
voted for Paul Lozier.
That's
okay.
all.
Gotcha.
Yes, Tim stepped in for Paul.
You were here.
I know, but just reading it, it just was like,
Oh, okay.
it made me like, was he here or was he not here?
Do you want a 2x4 to the floor?
Yeah, move right on.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Actually, I will. I'll bring up one thing. If you're, it was a question. So looking at these, yeah, this is the minutes from the last one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you know, Article 3, when we get to it, Kathy was explaining earlier. We removed an article that is why the operating budget is now Article 3 as opposed to the apparatus and equipment. Not that changes anything on the minutes.
The operating budget is Article 2.
Make a
Oh,
motion.
yes, the new one.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
We have a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Hearing none, you are approved. Cool, thank you, everybody. So let's move on to number 4, our 2025 apparatus and equipment budget, line number 331, ambulance billing services. That's why we had to have this special meeting.
That's on page 10.
Thank you.
Oh, page 7 of the budget. There we go.
It should be highlighted.
Anyway, what happened was, if anybody has any questions, we took in a lot more revenue this year than anticipated. So because of that increase in revenue, we have the increase in the Comstar billing. So the increase is $14,500 that we're looking to increase that number. Now that number, I will remind everybody, also comes out of the apparatus and equipment fund. It does not affect the tax rate. It just, we're essentially paying a fee for the money that we make.
So what we're saying is Comstar charged us $14,000 more than what we were planning on. I thought we got rid of Comstar.
No.
Thought it was a different billing service now.
We went out to bid, but Comstar came in at lower than anything.
You didn't want the $14,000?
It's a 3-year contract. So they bill us, they charge us 6% of what they collect. So this is actually a good thing.
So is it exactly $14,000?
Well, the increase, as Kathy has it down here, yes, because I did the numbers. When we approved it we approved
So this is
$328,681, and what we're looking at now is an increase.
So the 52 is the new number?
That is the new number.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, we'll look at the handout that she gave us.
Was in yellow.
You have a copy of the actual warrant, so when you refer to the warrant,
The old revenue was $37,500, and in 2024, the revenue was $635,175. That's what we
Could
took
you-
in.
Could you repeat that, please?
$635,175 is what we took in 2024. And we had only budgeted $37,500 that year, and we paid $42,791, hence the increase for 2025.
So the increase to 52 is for next year, so that's based on anticipated?
Anticipated revenues.
Correct.
Because we definitely want to be able to pay them for their services to get the money that we're owed.
So,
And if we underbid it, I guess legally we can't pay them, is that how it goes?
We try to find it somehow in the apparatus and equipment fund to do so.
so the 47 for this year to the 52 is what percentage increase?
Well, we had figured 15%, but then at the commissioners' meeting, Jason Wright made a motion to increase it to 52%. Rather than underfund, he'd rather overfund. And because it's,
50,000.
yeah, he increased it to 52. The money, you know, it's out of the apparatus and equipment fund, it's gonna stay there if we don't spend it. It's not being raised by taxation.
What were the numbers for 23, just for comparison? Do you have those by chance?
Well, we paid 30,572,
72.
actual number.
Or what was the total revenue we gained for 23?
573 or
572, 678.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so then that's good, then we're up a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually
300
solid above, that's, yeah, so this is like, you know, you're paying a couple, 10, 15 grand to make another 75, so.
Just for giggles, for the record, is that from increased calls or better return on our services?
Better return on our services.
So that is a real. I'm not going to say that more money from people's unfortunate circumstances is good, but it's better that we're collecting the money, more money than we have on owed. Where we're collecting more of what we're owed is essentially what's happening,
Yes.
as opposed to more calls.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's definitely positive.
So the 52 is 15% or it's more than 15?
It's more than, well, we had figured the 15% on, Sean went back several years to when COVID was first hitting, because runs were not, once COVID came, everything went nuts. So we based it on pre-COVID,
numbers.
but now that we're post-COVID,
You're
as you
seeing
can
that the
see,
numbers
we're
are
seeing the
not-
numbers are increasing.
Okay. Well, I know we're discussing, we have a lull in discussion, so I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna move that we increase line 331 for Comstar to $52,000.
Second.
It's seconded. Is there any further discussion on that? Anyone?
I just want to clarify, that's coming out of the equipment and apparatus fund.
Correct.
Which again doesn't affect the tax rate, so. All set, is any alibis on that? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second to move it to 52,000. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Hearing none, it passes. And warrant Article 3, so now we have to do warrant Article 3.
You'll see that it's highlighted in yellow because that is the new cost that's in that article. It was increased to that.
So again, I will go ahead and move that we pass Article 3 to increase the number, the operating number, appropriate $343,181, a $14,500 increase.
I'll second that.
And that's been seconded. It's been moved and seconded to pass the warrant article. Discussing, yeah.
So all we're doing there is adding the increase to the ambulance billing charge.
That is correct.
Correct.
Is there any other discussion on that?
Is this for buying a new ambulance?
No.
No.
Just equipment, apparatus and equipment.
Yeah, when we approved this last time, this is the apparatus and equipment fund. This is the budget that we approved for all the monies to come out of it for the operation of this coming year. And part of that budget was Comstar billing, that billing for collecting said monies. So the last meeting we met, we appropriated that 328,000, whatever it was. All right, and then they increased it to 14.5. That's why we have this new number.
Okay.
So we just approved it in the budget. Now we have to approve the increase in the number on Article 3.
So the payment, the ambulance came out of last year's equipment. It was approved at last year's district meeting.
Okay. And so it came out of this fund,
Correct.
Right.
not this 25, it's 24 actual.
Right.
Good.
So the money that goes into that fund is earned by, so we're just paying
It would be
the
nice, it
fee to collect all that money.
would be nice if we could get an ambulance for $343,000.
Yeah, right.
Maybe a used one.
So,
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
If
Maybe.
you're lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
again,
That'd be the fix and repair daily one.
Yeah.
Yes.
any further discussion on that motion to approve Article 3? It's been moved and seconded. All right, hearing none. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Hearing none, it's approved. The Budget Committee approves that article. All right, and under any other business, I'll open it up to Paul. Paul has a question regarding the commissioner representative on this board.
So it's kind of been bugging me that the commissioner's representative has been voting on the budget, on our business, okay? And I just want clarification in our bylaws as to whether that is a voting or non-voting position on this committee. And the reason I'm asking that is because if you look at it, that commissioner now has had 2 bites of the apple, when the other commissioners and all of us only get 1 bite at it. So I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying I have a question about it, and I'd like clarification. So
Okay. There's nothing in the bylaws regarding that, so I will have to go back to when the Budget Committee was formed and research that district meeting to see how they set it up,
okay.
okay?
Can also
I
run
don't
it by
think-
our attorney if
Yes.
it's not clear.
Right, so,
It's
Well-
not going to affect anything we've done this year, but certainly
And-
next year will be
So he's voted, this commissioner representative has voted, and it
yes,
has counted.
correct.
Right.
Paul Ogier is the commissioner's representative.
Right. I
And
see
he's
your
been
point,
voting,
right?
yeah.
He's a representative,
Well-
that's good, he doesn't need to vote.
Right, but on the
Right.
flip side, I don't recall where we had any votes where one vote was
No,
turning anything,
no.
so, I mean,
Just as a
this
comparison.
past year.
Jane might be able to answer this question.
This, I'm probably gonna, you're probably gonna say what I was gonna say.
On the
before.
budget committee for the town, I believe there's a selectman ex officio.
Mhm.
And I believe they have voting power on the budget committee in the town. And I don't know if there's a difference between the rules between a village district and a municipality. I don't know if there's a difference in that, but
Usually
I would
not.
say it's
We're both
governed by an
municipalities.
RSA probably,
Yeah.
and that's what I think you need to look at, is the RSA.
definitely we'll research that.
The only thing I'd like to bring up under that, oh, did anybody else want to talk about that question first? Okay, just a reminder, the 11th, we have our hearing on February 11th.
Yes,
What night is that? Is that a Tuesday?
That is a
That's a
Tuesday.
Tuesday, right, I
Tuesday
thought that was a Tuesday.
and it's at the Tilton PD. It
Right.
the Budget Committee usually goes first, so yours is at 6 o'clock, and then the commissioners will immediately follow.
And that's a public hearing.
And that
for
is
both
the public
budget and the warrant article.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, and I guess I can get with you before that then, for questions. I'm just curious as far as protocol for opening up the meeting, the budget meeting to the town or whatever.
You open it, just
Well,
like
yeah,
you do a regular meeting,
Right,
and then
Well, I had it down for 7, so I guess somewhere I was wrong on it. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to go down through the budget.
Yeah, so just basically like our December meeting.
Yes.
Just go through the warrant articles.
No, you'll go through the budget.
Just the operating
Oh, the whole,
budget.
just offering the budget?
You go
Just-
through the budget.
Just the operating
No,
budget.
they do the apparatus
Do they?
fund too, yes, because it's budget. Even though
They don't,
it's the
it's the commissioners.
It's the commissioners, but they still do it. And then the commissioners do the warrant articles.
Oh, okay, the commissioners and warrants. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through every line number unless I'm pretty much
No,
asked a question.
what you can do is, if you look at the budget on the first page.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, let me take my clip off. There's a list of expenses and everything is summarized by department,
Mm-hmm.
by line item, you know. That's, you know, like executive, 9,500. That takes care of the commissioners and all the elected positions.
Right, yeah.
So you can just go down that sheet, through that, and ask people if they have any questions.
Okay, yeah.
It's a password for Wi-Fi here, for the guests.
I don't know.
Not sure. I don't know if I have it, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm questioning what Eric said because I remember 7 PM also, and I'm trying to determine what meeting that was for. The commissioners' meeting starts at 5,
Right.
and
I know what it is, it's because on the minutes that were typed up, at the bottom, it always tells us the next meeting and the time, and that says February 11th, 7 PM, Tilton Police Department.
And that's what Courtney did.
okay,
Yeah,
so,
that's
Because
where you're getting
the
seven.
commissioners are meeting from 5 to 6.
well, this is really confusing because I'm